Hey everybody, welcome back to You Are Free TV. It is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, and I am so glad and thankful to be back with you here on the channel. It has been 3 weeks and I've been in God's boot camp. And so I'm going to just launch in here to talk to you about what's gone on with me. We're going through incredible times. There's so much news. We'll see how this video goes and how much news I'll get into. But I wanted, usually I don't talk about my personal experience here on this channel. And that is for, psychic and spiritual protection. But I really feel that I want to share with you what's been going on with me because it has been profound and incredible. And so I'm just going to launch in here of what's gone on in the last 3 weeks, why I haven't been able to be on. It kind of echoes other times where I've had to go offline for a bit, but this has been really massive for me. And so let's talk about it. So basically, about 3 weeks ago, I um, I just entered into just a massive phase of, I guess, upgrade or God's hand on me, working through me, basically preparing me to change and evolve into something different. And I had been praying on it and wanting it for so long because I was feeling this hamster wheel of constant news, constant, or repeating what we already know, what I've been talking about on this channel for so long about Cartel Babylon, the economy of sin, and how the rulers of the world embrace very high level, satanic, powerful sin in order to gain power for themselves to rule the world. And that has been really the theme on my channel, I guess, from forever. And I've always backed that up with deep dives and did this and this and this and everything that connects it all. And I've been doing that for so long. And it's we're at this place of kind of critical mass understanding, at least through the people who for 10 years perhaps or so, or even a few years, have gained awareness and awakeness to that and are now, I consider you and me, of course, but a broader base of memory barriers that is coming forward with clarity and awareness that as much as the details that are so important to understand about the news, there is so much to understand about our next level and next entry into a level of spiritual warriorhood that is necessary now. And we still do the news, we still cover everything going on, but we are, aligned towards a higher purpose here of really holding God's transformation for humanity and the understanding of the spiritual war against evil and the control grid on humanity. And so let me get into what's been going on. So about 3 weeks ago, it's been a long while here for me of really, string, it's been a shoestring financial situation, keeping this channel going, never being able to break through, the shadow banning, everything going on since I got back up after being deplatformed. And that's, I'm sure, God as well, just guiding me. But basically, so much I'm trying to create in my life, trying to, graduate into something different. And so anyway, about 3 weeks ago, I'd been having all these kind of vagus nerve related issues, health issues, under enormous stress with lots of things going on in my life. And so at that point, and this was right around, I guess, maybe the even before the Super Bowl, but around that time, I ended up getting like just a huge cold sore on my face. Okay, literally like the day after I did my last video, and you might be able to see kind of the scar there still from it. A massive cold sore. Okay, embarrassing to say, but true, and just erupted. And I haven't gotten one of these in many years. And so it was just God took me off the playing field and was like, there's no way you're going on to do videos while you look like that, just because it's gross. And I just firmly believe that, like, no, I'm not going to get up there and present that to the world. Just felt wrong. And it coincided with a lot of turmoil going on. And so that happened. Right. And and then there was the situation, very sad, but also interestingly, God liberating situation of my dog of 13 years that he's been with me in my close ins and my family passing over. And that was huge and very sad and griefful because, it's like our people and pets as they go, they join the angel realms there to basically become warriors themselves in that realm. Those of us who know our furry friends are so evolved in so many ways, but then it gives this added freedom and kind of gusto to the people here left behind to basically transform onto the next level as well with this kind of freed up energy and all of that. I hope you understand that that concept I'm talking about. And as all that's going on, and there's all kinds of things I might not talk about, just turmoil besides, just huge efforting to keep going. Then and then there is this massive storm. I'm in the Northeast right now, and well, no, before that, so I'm just going to keep telling the story here. Before that, then I start getting very strange, neurological issues, kind of like all kinds of things going on where I'm having to all of a sudden have this, brain fog and all kinds of stuff. And what had happened is I had started taking methylene blue. Okay. And so this is, a bit of a warning, but also just a discussion around methylene blue, which is an MAO inhibitor. And I had started taking it as a way of let's give it a try to see, can it, help whatever's going on with me feeling fatigued in my brain, etc. All the while knowing that, God was, saying, you have to stop hamster wheeling with the news because this is, it's time to shift. And so I took methylene blue, and I had tried it once last fall and kind of discontinued it fairly quickly because it didn't seem right for me. But I was kind of like, I really need something to help boost me right now with everything going on. And so I was taking it, and I think it actually contributed to the whole vagus nerve activation of all these things that can go on. And those vagus nerve things are something with me from my life. Basically, I think from poisoning, from vaccine damage from when I was a youth. And that's why I feel so enormously prayerful for the children now that have these, the 100 vaccines or even 17. Okay, that the damage it does to your brain and the damage it does to your body, your gut, everything, and how people have had to fight illnesses they never had before, and all that stuff. So anyway, this methylene blue, which is an MAO inhibitor, seemed to create in me this kind of serotonin syndrome, which basically can cause just massive excitation of the central nervous system. And you have to really address that immediately because it basically, and I'm not on any other, SSRIs or this kind of thing that can contribute to that. But for whatever reason, it created this in me, which I, through lots of study here during all of that's been going on with me, seemed to be what was going on. And so I went into this whole place of having things I've never had in my life, which were things akin to like panic attacks, extreme like in my body nervous system excitation, just enormous anxiety, incredible physical and brain um, uh, symptoms that were going on. And so I stopped taking that. Okay. And that all happened right around my dog's passing, and then stopping taking the methylene blue. And so I'm putting that out there as a warning to people. This next part. Okay. So I stopped taking that, which I was taking very sparingly, by the way. And and then what happened is that that whole scenario seemed to trigger what is called, I believe, a discontinuation event. Okay, discontinuation event, which I've known people in my life who have come off benzos or which MAO inhibitors it's like Adderall and this kind of thing, and methylene blue is in that category, and I've never taken anything like that in my life. um, However, it seemed to have the same effect on me, and all this time it's God working on me. It's God's boot camp working on me. And so what happened then is everything, once I stopped taking it, it catapulted just even more and more intense. Okay. More and more intense, where these things were happening to me. I didn't know what was going on. I'm praying, I'm praying. All the while, I had been praying beforehand for God to please help me with this pivot, help me with this spiritual evolution, this next step, for how I can be of service to you, and to every, to my life, to everything I'm meant to do, to be able to communicate more what's necessary for this next period as we go through this massive great awakening, which we now have really reached critical mass with the Epstein file release and the mass trauma event of that and everything going on now. And so this is all happening. God took me out of the visual field with you to talk about the Epstein file release, everything going on there, the mayhem, the mass shock and trauma. And that's what I've been talking about on this channel from forever. Everything down to the cannibalism, to the evil, the everything, okay, that I've talked about this channel from forever. And we're graduating to a new space to be able to hold that understanding and be active for God in this spiritual war, in this massive war, and this huge change on the planet, of power structures and the takedown of Cartel Babylon. And that's what we pray for so much right now, as things look really sticky, as we're on this knife's edge of what's going on, whether it is Iran, and everybody's involvement in what's going on there. And I don't think I probably won't get to that in this video, but I will be covering it. So just know that that's coming. My analysis there, whatever I can offer in that realm. And so then from there, I basically went, praying massively. So then there is this massive storm. I'm in the Northeast right now during this time period, and there is a major, blizzard that just was weather warfare, completely constructed out of nowhere, and just it hits the Northeast, and millions lose power for days and days on end. I was one of them, lost power for multiple days, and all kinds of incredible things happened during that time. But all the while, I'm going through these incredible experiences of trying to figure out my brain, what's going on, how to mitigate this, coming down from this experience with the methylene blue, and and then and it was just massive. It was massive. And so I had really close ins, and that's why I say always be there for each other, people, because there are certain people in my life who helped me so much during this time. One, an incredible Catholic friend who really went in with a priest and did an incredible intervention with this priest for me. Literally saved my life at that time, where I was going through such intense symptoms that were really detrimental, and just saved me for to get to this next level. And through rosary, and I always, I'll take this time to just say, if you are Christian, and I hope you are, and if you're Catholic, get on that rosary, right? Get on that rosary. And if you do your Hail Marys, put people's names on them, know they're cemented in by God that way. If you are non-Catholic and you are, Christian, get baptized, do the things that help to give you the power that you need during this time, because we need all the power we can get from God in all the ways we're instructed to do so and led to do so. And so I want to encourage you to do that. And people's prayer for me during this time was hugely paramount. And I felt your prayers too. And I saw your comments worrying, and worrying is asking for what you don't want. So always prayers. Don't worry for me. I'm good no matter what. because God's love is in me, and I know about the true meaning of the resurrection, eternal life. I'm not afraid in that realm. But basically, so went from there being lights out, no power, all of this, um, to then still going through this massive experience of what this situation of coming off of methylene blue was. And it's been many, many days of huge times of so much going on besides helping people during the storm, people helping me. There being all that chaos going on. All of the while, I'm kind of on a shoestring financially. Just, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. It's been God, and it's been God's boot camp for me. And I know in so many levels, this is trite compared to what so many people are experiencing and going through. I can say for me, it was profound what I've experienced, and also what God has brought me. God has brought me huge, huge, huge blessings during this time. And one of them was that I was, and this just happened yesterday, and it's after constant prayer, constant, on my face prayer on the floor, okay, for hours, for many, many times during the day. Just upgrade me, God. I am available and make me capable. That's all I need to do is make me available, make me capable, and it helped me refine everything I'm doing in my life, everything I ingest, everything I partake in, and got me off the hamster wheel of I must cover all the news and the drain of that, because it is so draining, when really it is through prayer and guidance that most of what I really have to offer to you actually comes. The deep dives, I know you love them, and there'll be more. They'll be coming. But this whole aspect of me transforming that, praying for this pivot, and it arriving in this way, I'm so, so grateful for. And then just yesterday, to share this, I had an incredible, truly Jesus healing event. And this happened yesterday. And it was truly, absolutely incredible. And in what happened to me, for me and with me, with Jesus. And this was a hands-on healing that I experienced direct from Jesus. And it was literally hands on my shoulders, my heart, my head, angels all around. It was an incredible thing. I can't, it sounds so trite to even say. It was miraculously incredible for me, and an answer to prayer, a confirmation of everything I know and have known throughout my life, and so profound that I just want to tell you that this is what's happened to me. This is what's happened to me, and it's where I am right now. And so I just wanted to share this video with you. I might have to leave it here. No, I won't. I'll go on a little bit longer, to cover, to talk about a few more things. But this healing yesterday, direct, literally experience of Jesus. Thank you for your prayers, because it has, transformed me. And I'm so, so thankful, profoundly, profoundly so, and excited about life in the midst of this seeming chaos. And then, of course, the eclipse that happened last night, the blood moon, and that being incredible as well. And somehow this was all interrelated with the astro phenomenon that God creates to catapult us, and the frequencies, and the expansion that God puts forth as an opportunity if we can grasp it. And I kind of had to get shoved in there and just completely praying for it hugely. But God's like, here we go, and there it was. And so I've done many things, supplement wise, all kinds of things besides, that helped me all during this period, to get me through. And I will share that in subsequent videos. I just want to give people hope out there that that you can come back from this kind of situation if you get inadvertently poisoned by something that you're hoping might help you. And so going on, during all of this, while it's happening, we have, the Epstein release. Okay, this happens like very soon after I get this giant cold sore on my face. Okay. And it's like, ah, God's like, nope, you're not gonna be part of this. And I have been part of it, for the last 10 years doing this channel where I've already put out all this information. And everybody, there's so many now, millions and millions and millions of people and across the world, and the cascading events of the Epstein release, where people get to see the evil straight up firsthand. And I believe it is a huge trauma event, but also a solidifying what is the kind of the end of an epic of this first stage of this great awakening, okay, for humanity, and especially for the West, to understand what this fight is about in the depth of evil and the evil of Cartel Babylon, and how they harness sin, how they harness really weaponizing sin to gain power through Satan to control and escalate and gain power. Okay, the economy of sin, being so well shown in the Epstein files, everything that's come out with the control at the highest echelons of money and power, and their blatant hatred of life, their necrophilia, their true love of death, and their controlling, their ability to control that comes through the power of committing sin. And I've talked about the mechanisms of that, for years and years, in the different groups involved in it. And now, as we're watching the world powers being completely upended, and this huge fight that's going on, and this includes what's going on in Iran right now. And I'm not going to get into that in this video today. This is just going to be what it is, me getting back to you, telling you and sharing with you what's gone on with me, where as we come into what I feel is really a next layer. Okay, I feel that I've been a memory bearer for so long, trying to share with you whatever truth I can about the evil controlling the world, and also God's mission for us, is that we're now in this critical mass where it's reached 100th monkey situation. Okay, the 100th monkey situation being when enough people know, then it spreads through our resonance, through our electricity of our brains, and with everything going on with huge downloads from God, I believe through frequencies and these astro events, that people are imparting knowledge to each other that is just upgrading. Okay, and so we need to pray for all the people who are learning about these things for the first time massively, and just help to be of service to them, and to basically let them know, and hopefully bring them to Jesus Christ, because that is the biggest protection, and the armor of God is the most important. And that the people who have the wisdom to bear this knowledge with some sort of maturity, we come into a sort of turtle formation. I've talked about this before. Back in the Romans, they would form this turtle formation with shields out, right? And we get together, shields out together, in order to fight and move forward towards the gates of hell. And it's what we're doing now. And it is very, very confusing, and it is very, very uh, knife's edge, as I said. However, it's not to those of us who know God and know Jesus. We know that this is incredible, incredible strides being made right now. And so that might be where I leave it. Um, I thought I might get into news tonight, but I just want to put this up, let you know my experience, where I'm at right now. It's something I don't normally really do on this channel, but to share with you, because I know so many people like me that I've even talked to are going through very similar things to what I'm going through, and a lot of loss, a lot of transformation, and also a lot of deep, deep fighting against huge principalities and powers, and also God working deeply in our lives to upgrade us to be equal to the next task. And so I might leave it there for tonight. I want to thank you again so much for your prayers, And yes, I will be back with news and analysis massively. There's so much to do, and we'll be doing it. And I also want this channel to be more than news. I won't be getting back on the hamster wheel. Doesn't mean I won't do deep dives. It just means that we need to move forward into a higher elevation in how we're approaching our um, our prayer warriorhood, which is paramount. That is so paramount. Being there for each other in real ways, off of devices, in real human ways, so paramount. And then the action required. I'll just throw this out there. We must have that Save America Act. You need to do it. You need to take action on that. We have, of course, the primary, the elections going on in Texas right now. Ken Paxton has a real shot against Cornyn. $70 million just that we know about spent on Cornyn trying to stay as the incumbent in Texas for the Senate seat for his last term after 30 years, where he will not care. He is 76 years old. Just do whatever the globalists tell him to. Total rhino versus Paxton, who's very close. So I'm praying for that, that Paxton can defeat Cornyn in this primary with his mere $4 million, okay, fighting this. And so the action is 202-224-3121 for the Save America Act. Um, that's your Senate. Okay, we need this up and done. That is imperative. Our elections, and if we have any real fight for what's coming, we absolutely must have the Save America Act, and we must take 2026 extremely seriously in our daily action lives, okay? And we combine our spiritual with our daily action. 202-224 2321 is Thune directly, okay? To barrage him with your clear necessity about getting the Save America Act on the floor and passed, regardless of this Iran situation. And so we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Yes, I'm going to leave it there at 27 minutes. I so appreciate you, and I thank you so much for your prayers. I've been through the crucible here, and the sort of eye of the needle experience for this level of wherever I'm at right now. But I'll tell you, it is a beautiful place to be, and I've made myself not only available to God, but showing that I can also be very capable for what he needs from me going forward. So thanks so much for watching. A very different video than normal, but I wanted to share with you at this time. I think it's crucial that we, try to connect in these ways as we move forward through this potent time to defeat Cartel Babylon. That is everything that is so imperative right now. And God has us. And so we show God that we are available, and we will do everything we can to be capable. So prayer is paramount. Thank you so much for watching and on this little brief catch up. I will be back, and we'll get into more analysis and on the broader level than just me, but I wanted to share me with you. Thank you so much. You are free, as am I, and I will see you very soon. You are free.